Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota here in the US. And I am here to bring you a paper crafting class, an online paper crafting class that is not live this time. I'm pre-recording it, but I'm sharing it with you on June 4th, 2020. So whether you're watching it on YouTube or you're seeing it on my website, on my blog post, welcome, and I'm glad that you checked in with me today because I have a very fun card to share with you. Now I'm going to back up just a little bit and introduce you to a project that I do each month. I collaborate with 11 other demonstrators from around the world, and we create project ideas and then put all those project ideas into a bundle of tutorials. You can get your hands on those that bundle of tutorials by doing a qualifying purchase, being part of one of our teams, or you can purchase the tutorial. So this month's tutorial, the June tutorial, is focused around one of our new suites of products. It's called the World of Good Suite. And a suite of products is basically like a collection of coordinating products. This suite is very new because it just debuted in our 2020 through 21 annual catalog that started yesterday. So it's really fun. You're going to love this tutorial, this bundle of tutorials. We have some grand ideas in there that you'll just need to check out. So if you are on YouTube, you'll want to click on the link in the description of my video so that you can go to that blog post and check out how to get your hands on the tutorial. But also so you can see photos of all the projects that I'll be sharing in the video. You can see the measurements that I'll be showing you now, but you'll be able to copy and paste. And then you'll also see the supplies that I'm sharing listed and linked to my online store in case you'd like to get your hands on them. So again, my blog is, or my website, either way, StampYourArtOut.com, and you can, if you like the projects that I'm sharing, you can click on the shop button and you can go ahead and purchase this stuff so that you can create some of these fun fold cards yourself. It's a super simple card. You are gonna love it. What else do I need to share before I start? Well, let's go to the measurements. Okay, so here we go. This is what I normally do in my live paper crafting classes too, but it's so weird. I don't have anyone chatting with me during this, but hopefully you get the same idea, same feel from it. We're gonna go ahead and look through the supplies really quickly here. These are the supplies that I'm going to use on the card that I'm demonstrating. And then below, I'm gonna also share with you some variations on the card. So I have different colors of cardstock. They all come from the Neutrals pack of 12 by 12, by the way. And that's a variety pack of cardstock that includes these colors: Early Espresso, Merry Merlot, Mossy Meadow. And then the one that I'll be showing and walking you through is the Night of Navy color. A lot of these colors work with this suite. So, and then you can also see down here I've listed the brass foil sheets, which are new, and then we've also got basic black cardstock, and that's because in the other project samples I won't be using the silver foil sheets. I'll use those instead. And then the other thing that kind of changes back and forth is the ribbon. So you're using the gold shimmer ribbon or the black glittered organdy ribbon on a couple cards. But the one I'm demonstrating today is using my favorite, the silver metallic edge ribbon. And so you can kind of glance through the rest of these products to see what I'll be using for my tools. Here are the measurements on this side. Again, you don't need to do a screenshot or anything. You can just click in the link. Or if you're already on my website in my blog post for June 4th, 2020, you can just scroll down and you'll see the measurements listed right there. I'm going to leave my computer off to the side here because I want to make sure that I am seeing all of, oops, I didn't adjust my camera yet, so that I am seeing all of these measurements as we go. Okay, we're ready. All right, so what are we going to use today? We're going to use just a portion of the suite. We're not using the whole entire suite. In fact, we're not even going to use a stamp set today. Crazy. But we are going to use this Memories and More card pack called World of Good. It's from a suite, obviously. A Memories and More card pack includes 4 by 6 cards. Oh my gosh, I've used up a ton of these. I guess I like this card idea. You get 2 of each style of the cards. They're double-sided, so you can see the different imagery that's in those cards. I'll be showing you the other ones too. I actually only used, I think I used just like one of each one that is not here. So hopefully you'll be able to get a feel for all of them. And then there's some that have the foiling on them, as you can see here. And then also on those 6x4 sheets are some stickers. Believe it or not, I have not dove into these stickers yet, and they're really cool. So those are the stickers. Yes, I've just been working with the cards. And then we also have, oh, this was cut from one of the larger ones. We also have 3x4 inch size ones. So these fit into our Memories and More pocket pages for scrapbooking, but you can also get coordinating cards and envelopes that allow you to just slap these onto them, and you can have like an instant card. Dare to live the life you've always wanted to live. Boom, stick that on a folded card base, put it in an envelope, you have an instant card. So it makes creativity very easy, especially for people who don't have a ton of supplies. And I'm going to show you how to make some cards without a ton of supplies. Now, before I dive in, I also want to say that there are some die-cut globes, little hemisphere stickers here, that you could peel off and use in place of these that I'll be doing with my cards. So this is a more, I don't know, avid crafter type of product. These are called dies, and basically you have to have a die cutting machine, which I'm going to pull into the camera here really quick. And we're going to die cut. It's like punching, only it's with crazy cool tools. So we are going to die cut the silver foil paper, and I just have a scrap of it here. So I'm going to lay it onto my platform, and I'm going to put it between my cutting mats with the silver foil pressed against the cutting side of the die. Okay, because there's a cutting side, and then there's the side that's smooth. Okay, and we'll just put that together like that, sandwich it, line it up, and we're going to crank it through. And what it's doing is it's pressing between two rollers in this machine. I could just move my camera. It's pressing between two rollers in the machine. And when we take all of these things out of here, because that's all we're going to die cut for this. So again, if you don't have this machine or you don't have the dies or whatever, you can use those two stickers. They should work pretty well to make a couple cards with. All right, so now we're going to take that stuff out of the way, and you can see this is what you get. Okay, we've got all these little tidbit-y things, these things that are coming out. Tidbits. Is that a word? I don't know, chads. And then you use the brush. This is a die brush that you can attach to your take your pick tool, and you just kind of press it over the top, and it eliminates, it gets rid of all the pieces that you don't need in there. We're going to zoom in just a little bit because it doesn't look like we're really close up. Let's go in a little closer. There we go. Okay, so now that we've cut with our machine, we're going to bring in our other pieces of cardstock, and we're going to grab our trimmer, and we're going to do some cutting. So I mentioned that you need the 12 by 12 cardstock. So this is larger than what I typically use in my videos here. This is our 12 by 12. Really cool stuff. This is where you can do some really fun folds. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut a 4 1/4 inch wide piece. And the reason why we're doing 4 1/4 inches is because it will fit into our medium size envelopes that way. 4 1/4 inches wide. I think they're like slightly over 4 1/4 inches wide by slightly over 5 1/2 inches wide. So we're going to make our cards that it fits in there. Now you could get a couple cards out of this, and then you'd have some scrap, which is where you could punch your 2-inch circle, because we're also going to punch a 2-inch circle from some scrap. But because I'm not making 2 cards, I'm going to save my 12 by 12 for something else, and we'll just use the smaller scrap that I had on hand. So we need a scrap that's 2 inches of that same coordinating color. And now we're going to rotate so that our card we're going to do some score lines that are parallel to the short end. So one score line is going to come in, and I'm cheating, I'm looking over here, 3 1/4, looking at my measurements. We're going to go to the 3 1/4 inch spot and score. And we're going to flip this around and go to the 4 1/4 inch mark and score. Okay, So we're just using the scoring blade. We're gonna keep that trimmer because I might need it. I think I do need it again. Okay, so now we're gonna fold in like this. So we've got a piece that's tucked in, and then we're gonna have a piece that's gonna insert in this card as well. This is the tuck, and then there's something that's gonna get inserted in here. That's where I came up with the name. I looked all over. I have to admit, I looked all over Pinterest and Google, and I was trying to find if anyone else had created an official name for this fold. I couldn't find one. So if there's a better name out there, will you guys let me know? I'm again calling it the Tucked Insert Fun Fold card. At this point, I'm going to share with you one of the finished versions of the card so that you can kind of know what I'm talking about more, because I meant to do that earlier. Sorry. All right, this is what the card is going to look like, only it's going to be in a different design. This is the shape of the card, basically. So you lift this up, and there's the insert, right? It inserts into there. And there's the tuck part. So tucked and inserted. Got it? Fun, right? All right, so again, there's the die. This is in the brass color. The base is Early Espresso cardstock. We use 12 by 12 from the Neutrals pack. We use the gold shimmer ribbon on this one. And then these are just cards from the Memories and More card pack. So now that you see what it's supposed to kind of look like as we go, this will be easier. Sorry, I forgot to do that earlier. And the cards that we're using, or that we used for that one, are these here. Okay, obviously I cut that one down, which is where you saw that tiny piece from, right here, right? So that's that tiny piece. And then those are the other two cards. Now I flipped these over, and I've got this beautiful blue on here. Misty Moonlight is the color, and it goes really well with our Night of Navy. And so I'm going to be using these sides of the cards for this card that I'm going to share with you today. So because we need to, according to this card, we need to have a punched piece at the top here, and we don't want to punch into this layer. We need to just keep this tucked part out, fold this down. We'll turn both of them around so we can look at them at the same time. All right, and then you can see we're going to punch a half circle right around here. When I bring in my 2 1/4 inch circle punch, you're going to notice that there are a couple pencil lines underneath here. There's a pencil line there and a pencil line there. I did that because you can also see in the part of the punch that punches through, and I'm going to close this again. In fact, I'll point with this. You can see that there's a little bit of a dip there. That is where the punch, here, now you can see it better. So there's a little bit of a dip here, kind of like a sharp mark there. That is marking the halfway point, and it's on both sides. So it made it easy for me to just go ahead and put pencil lines on the metal part that's going to be seen as we punch. So I just did that so that when I come in here, I can just line up my pencil lines with where I'm going to punch. And I have to angle it towards me, sorry. So I've got them lined up, and then I just punch. And I have a pretty perfect circle when I punch it out because I went to those lines. Okay, I could use that somewhere else if I wanted to. All right, so now what do? Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach my main sentiment to this portion. These cards again are 4 inches by 3, and it fits into the 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch space with that little border all the way around. So I'm going to use snail adhesive on this because it will help me to pull off a portion of the card later on. Okay, and we'll just put 3 long strips along there. And here, I'll make it come out so you can see the edges a little bit better. Okay, now that I've centered that on there, you can see there's a little bit of adhesive here, and we want this to be able to pull out. Well, I guess I didn't stick it on anything yet. Hang on. So now we're going to go ahead and fold this back up like that, and we're going to line up our punch again. So that's probably the hardest part. You have to have a good pair of glasses on to do that, or good eyesight. So we punch this out, and this will now get attached to our inserted portion of the card. So we're just going to fold that shut again, and we're going to go like this, lining everything up, and then pressing that in place. And we already had the adhesive there. If you need to put more adhesive there, you certainly could. We're going to grab a scissors. Don't tell anyone I'm using my ribbon cutting scissors. I forgot I needed one. So I have two of these scissors. They're called paper snips. One of them I have for ribbon, because that way it stays sharp. And the other one I don't have a ribbon on, because I cut my paper with it. And I just did a horrible thing. Do not cut your paper with ribbon scissors. Don't do that. All right, so that's set. Let's take our bone folder and make sure these creases are nice and sharp. So that's how I got that look in there underneath this circle. Now you can see we're gonna stick this onto here like that. I hope this is making sense, and I hope it's looking pretty darn easy, because it really is. You know what, before we do that, let's go ahead and stick this onto here, because this part onto here is much easier to do before we stick it onto here. So let's grab our silicone mat, and we have our little portion of a sponge. We have our multi-purpose green capped glue. We're just gonna squeeze out a little bit of glue onto our mat. I love the mats because you can take and like grab packaging tape or any kind of tape really. After this is dry, I can clean it off by just pushing tape down and pulling it up, and it removes all the dried up glue. Okay, we're gonna flip this over, and we're going to pounce up and down into that glue with our sponge. When you're done with the sponge, by the way, you can just rinse it under warm water. And because this is water-soluble glue, if you can do it soon before it dries, you can clean off your sponge and use it the next time. And you'll notice I did not move my die when I was getting adhesive on the back side, because if I did that, then I would then get adhesive on the front of it, because it would kind of get into a sticky spot on my mat. There we go. Oh, I had stickiness on my fingers. All right, so that's stuck on there like that. And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to take this and just kind of pounce up and down to remove the excess glue. And again, rinse this under warm water, and it should clean off real quickly. Okay, so now it's going to be easier to stick this onto my card, because I want this vertical line here to go straight up and down. That's just the way I want to do it. So I'm going to grab my glue again. And this way, if I use glue, I can kind of maneuver my 2-inch circle. Plus I can get adhesive exactly where I want it. On here, I'd have to keep flipping it over and putting the tape on there, or if I put it here, I wouldn't get it all the way to the edges. Anyways, I just prefer the glue for this part of the card. Let's zoom in just a bit. So now I can put it on here. I can line it up so that I have the same border, and I can kind of shimmy it because it's not stuck down completely. It's not, I shouldn't say it's not stuck down completely. It's not dried completely. There we go. See, I had it tilted somewhat, and now I've got it where I want it. Okay, the next step is to cut these pieces to size. This one I think I want to put on the inside of my card because it's got a place where I can write a message to whoever I'm giving this to. Obviously, this would make a great graduation card. Hopefully there are still graduates out there that you can send your cards to. Hopefully it's not past that time yet. I mean, you could give graduation cards to people all year round, couldn't you? I don't know. I sent out the few that I needed to, hopefully. I don't know. Let me know if I missed somebody. So we're going to put this on the inside, and that's going to go right here. Okay, and it fits under there really well. So we'll just put some snail adhesive on there. We'll make sure that it's got the same size border all the way around. And there, now we have a place to write on the inside of this Night of Navy card. Because this cardstock's pretty dark, so you want to have a lighter insert. I was considering this one, and I thought, no, that's still kind of dark. So instead, we're going to cut this piece in half, and we're going to use half of it on the front of the card. So we'll cut this into two pieces. It is 6 by 4. We want to cut it to 3 by 4, which is the size of the smaller cards. Okay. So let's take this, and I don't know. I think let's figure it out. We'll just close this up. Oh gosh, I kind of like that one. Oops. I kind of like that one because it's got the center of the circle showing through there. Although that's kind of fun too because it has some obvious, I'm going with that one. That's the one I'm going to pick right there. I decided. See, that's what's great about that is you can pick and choose from all of these cards. All right, so we'll set that there. The last thing that we're going to do is add the ribbon. So you can see every other portion of the card is pretty complete. This is obviously using a full 6x4 card from that pack of Memories and More cards, and I just cut off a portion so it would fit in this section. So let's add our ribbon, and the ribbon would fit best down here. So I said in the measurements 13 to 14 inches. I guess it depends on, you know, if you want to tie a bow or, you know, how much ribbon you need to hang on to when you're tying. I'm just going to do a knot. And another thing I mentioned in the supplies is glue dots. You could put glue dots underneath the knot of your ribbon to help hold it in place. I'll demonstrate that with this card. Okay, so we have our ribbon on there. I'm going to shift it over just a little bit. There we go. And then we'll trim off the ends. I like to trim it at an angle, like that. And then the glue dots, they're under my trimmer. Here we go. And we'll just grab our Take Your Pick tool. Oh, my other Take Your Pick tool is out of the way. I have one of my Take Your Pick tools because I have two of them. One of them has a pokey end. But we'll just lift up a glue dot with the pokey end of our scissors. Boy, this scissors is getting a lot of love today. Okay, so let's close this up. It looks like where I want it to be. We'll just set it aside, push that glue dot down, and bring the knot of the ribbon right over the top. And now that ribbon won't move on us, it'll stay in place. I'm gonna zoom out a bit because I wanna show you a few other cards here. All right, and we'll tidy up our desk area. It's a mess. It becomes a mess while I'm crafting. All right, so we have the Reach for the Stars, great for graduation. We have this one here. This is another card I did with the same color scheme as the one I demonstrated. This one says Enjoy the Journey, which would also be a great graduation card. Or if somebody's moving on to a new time in their life, you know, maybe they're gonna move or they're gonna travel. So that is what I did for that card, and I used just two of the 6x4 size cards. So these two right here. So you can see I cut this one in half, did the bottom portion here, the top portion here, and then on the inside I cut that one in two pieces because I thought it'd be cool to have both of them. So that's that. I did want to show you this too. I forgot to mention this, that I would have cut these words almost completely out here and it would have looked funny, but because we added this portion here, it makes the words more legible. So you'll want to make sure that you're sticking that half circle piece there. Okay, again, this is the Tucked Insert Fun Fold card. Here's a fourth one that I made. This one's using Mary Merlot as the base color, and that's also in the Neutrals 12x12 pack. I used the silver metallic edge ribbon like I did on my two cards here, silver foil again like these two cards, and with this card I only used 3 of the 3x4 cards that come in the Memories and More pack. So I used this one, the Explore More, and it's never too late in life to have an adventure. They look like this on the other side. So when we open it up, there are the globes, and then I put the card that way. Okay, I just really like that message, and I thought, why not? I mean, you really can put it in so many different places inside the card because there's a lot of space, right? So there's that one. And then the last one is this one here, and it's using the Mossy Meadow cardstock color, but some glittered black organdy ribbon. These words look like they're really far down there. That is because I cut them from this card here, I Think the World of You. So I cut it in half, and it gave me that piece there and that piece there. So you have to like open the card to see the whole thing. I Think the World of You. And then this card was cut into 2 pieces to get those two sections. This is using basic black cardstock. So again, you wouldn't need foil. You could use just a different color that would stand out. This is a really good message that I want to put on my next one that I make, because obviously I'm having fun making these cards. I think I have to do another one. This is a great message for the world right now. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. We have a lot going on in my hometown currently as I'm recording, and it's frightening. So, you know, just a lot of things that are just, you know, being amplified right now. Lots of emotion, lots of turmoil, and we want to be the change that we wish to see in the world. The golden rule. I'm not going to get too much into this. I don't want to get too religious, but please, everyone, follow the golden rule. Be kind to your neighbors. All right, I think that's all I wanted to share today. If you, again, are interested in any of the products that I featured in today's card, you can visit my blog at stampyourartout.com and click on the shop button. Then you can send out some of these great messages to people, your friends and family. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I was going to mention. Please subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my blog. I'd love to have you visit back for future videos, and I hope that you enjoyed these ideas. Again, check the video description. These photos, the measurements, and supplies that are linked to my online store will all be shared on my June 4th, 2020 blog post. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.